Hi there, welcome to Subpar Stitches. My name is Hillary and this is my Flosstube channel. It's been 3 weeks since my last update because I'm not gonna lie to you, last week I did not feel I did not feel like filming. I did not film for my other channel, I did not film for this channel, and I regretted it, but what's done is done. So this is 3 weeks worth of stitching that I have to show you guys today. And actually I'm kind of glad I waited because I've got quite a good stack of stuff to show you. Everything will be timestamped down in the description box, and any patterns I mention will be listed in chronological order, and I will link to them if they are available. So if there's something that you guys see that you like, you can just click that link and pick it up for yourself. So I want to start out with my finishes, and I have two. The first one is a SAF, or a start and finish, and this is one of my weekly starts that I've been doing. I've been doing minimum one start a week for every week of 2025. If I were smarter, I would have called this my 52 and 25 project, but instead I was just like, start a week, why not? And I have actually started more than one a week just because sometimes something comes out of left field, which you guys will see in my new start section. But this was, like I said, a start and finish. This is Arranging Mushrooms by Ink Circles, and this is from the Arrangements series, and here is what it looks like. This is 18 count hand-dyed Ada by me. I named it Pebble, and I feel like the lighting, I just can never figure it out. I did this in DMC. It has like a DMC conversion, but it's charted in like fancy floss. I just didn't feel like doing it. So it does look a little bit different, like this, the blue that you can see in what I was calling these, I call these the cinnamon roll mushrooms because they look kind of like a cinnamon roll. That blue is a little bit more pronounced in the DMC. I was also referring to these in my head as the Lorax mushrooms because they're like the perfect little Lorax color. But yeah, I really like the way this turned out. I really like a lot of the Ink Circles arrangements, and I like this gray fabric. It just felt very like stormy fall weather for this whole piece, and I stitched this in, I want to say like 2 days. I started watching Suits for some reason, and I just marathoned that and stitched on this. Not related in any way, but yeah, I don't know what I'll do with it, but it's cute. And then my other finish was one that I had like a very weak start on. This is Golden Hour Nature Walk by Sprouting Lupine. I started this at StitchCon with all my friends. We all picked a different Nature Walk series pattern from Sprouting Lupine to start together. And once I had finished the mushrooms, I was like, I need to put some more work in this because it's pretty small. And I ended up finishing this the same weekend. And this is done on 16 count Parliament Ada by Forbidden Fiber Co. And as you can see, like the color palette goes so well with this Ada. And this was, I believe, Erin, it's like blurring out. Erin suggested this particular Nature Walk series because this was the fabric I had sitting in front of me, and that was perfect. I love the cicadas, like the little cicada shell here, and then like the full cicada up here with his little wings. I just really, really like this pattern. I'd like to do the rest of them at some point, but I got a lot of other starts planned, but I've got quite a bit more of this fabric. This was like free on the StitchCon freebie table. Somebody just dropped it off and I was like, free hand-dyed fabric, I'll take that. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to stitch on it, but then Erin came in clutch with this idea. So another one where I don't know what I'll do with the finished piece yet, but I've got some ideas. If I do them all, I could do like an interchangeable display, so that would be cool. So those were all of my finishes. And then I had a couple of I had 3 new starts. So the first one I had was one of my weekly new starts, and this is The Birdman Cometh by Little Robin Designs. So this one uses a combination of Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts, Classic Colorworks, and DMC. And it's got quite a few colors, so I was like, I don't feel like sourcing all that. So they do have a DMC conversion, and I was like, I'm just gonna do that because I don't feel like sourcing that many specialty flosses. And I'm doing this on 32 count Mater Sandwich by Dames of the Needle. And all of my new starts, my start of week starts, they get approximately 3 days worth of stitching because I stitch on them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And here is where I got in those 3 days. So I got the whole top border done, and then I put in this like woman on a horse and a couple of the flowers. The borders at the top are pretty thick, but I love just how crazy this design looks. It's just very colorful, and they stitched theirs on a red fabric for the what do you call it, the model. So I really like that. And the linen, whenever, I hate when this happens with the linen where like the weave gets a little bit goofy, but you can fix that pretty easily. But yeah, I'm excited to get down. There's like a big pink rabbit that I feel like it looks like it's on fire. But whenever I say like, oh, that pattern where the rabbit is on fire, people are like, the rabbit's not on fire. And I'm like, I feel like it's on fire. I feel in my heart that rabbit is on fire. I don't know. Either way, I think that this is a really fun pattern. And then when I saw Karen from Stitching Past My Bedtime, she did this like 1/1. And it was so tiny. Like, it was literally like a fourth of the size of this. I was like, all right, I got to get that one started. So I had 3 days into this, and I got some pretty good progress. And I'm happy with the DMC conversion of it. I just don't, it's like some projects I'm like, yes, I would love to source all the specialty threads. But because I'm doing a start a week the entire year, that's going to get really pricey really fast if I use the specialty threads for like every single project. So I just kind of pick and choose the ones that it's like the most important to me, or I feel like it will be the most impactful. And this one, the fabric is already pretty impactful, and the color scheme is already pretty impactful, so I felt like I didn't need that extra over-dyed oomph to it. And then Stitch Sprout announced they were doing an X Files stitch along, and I immediately dropped everything and was like, I must kit this up and I must do it. And so I pulled all of the colors, and there's like more than 20 colors in this. And on, I think it was August 4th, whatever the Monday was, they released the frame, and I had the frame done. Like, I stitched on it for like 2 days, got the frame done. And then this Monday they released the first drop, and that's what I did on Monday. I was like, we're getting this done. But I'm stitching mine on 32 count Paranormal by Bestitch Me. I literally chose this fabric solely because of the name. I was like, who cares if it works or not? It's gonna work. So the frame was like Mulder and Scully on the top, the I Want to Believe, the little alien, and then of course like the frame and all of these smaller bands. And then the first drop from Monday was this one, which says Trust No One, Deny Everything. This is based off of the Smoking Man, and they have his pack of Morleys here, which are definitely not Marlboros. No. And I said this on my Instagram post, but when I was a kid, I hated the Smoking Man. I thought he was so boring. Every episode that centered on him, I was like, whatever. And then as I got older and I actually understood the conspiracy and like his hand and all of it, I was like, oh my god, the Smoking Man, most intriguing character ever. There's an episode called Musings of a Cigarette Smoking Man, and it shows like how he was like, had a hand in like the Kennedy assassination and like all this kind of stuff. But then you see his like day-to-day life where it's like, he just wants to be a writer. He just wants to write like short stories and stuff. And you're like, oh, so he is human after all. And fun fact about the actor, because I am obsessed with the X Files. Like I've never not been watching the X Files since I started watching this show. Like, it's a problem. I'm on season 4 right now. Just in case you were wondering, which is my favorite season, by the way, because it has paper hearts in it. But anyways, the actor who plays the Smoking Man, he is a champion water skier, I believe, and he used to be a smoker. And so when he first started this role, he was smoking regular cigarettes, but then he was worried that he was going to become addicted again, so he switched to herbal cigarettes. So whenever you see him smoking Morleys, they're herbal. But I'm really excited. Every 2 weeks there's a new drop. So I'm hoping we get some Walter Skinner in here, because wood. And then I don't know who the other two might be. So we'll see. I'm very, very excited. And then my last new start was another pattern by Plastic Little Covers. I had started one recently by them called like I'm Doing My Mediumist, and I got a pretty good chunk on that one. And then this one as well, I just really powered away onto. It's called Going Into a Spiral, and this is just done on 18 count white Aida and using only DMC. And look at the color scheme. This pattern maker's color schemes are so stunning that I don't usually like patterns that are like text focused, but hers, for some reason, because of all the like the fun designs around the outside, because of the color schemes, I just get so roped into them. So I've got two going by her. This is Plastic Little Covers on Etsy, by the way. So like I said, all these will be linked down below. But it's going to say, going into a spiral, anyone want anything or anyone need anything? I can't remember what verbiage, but I just thought that was funny because that's, my life is one spiral after another. So those were all of my new starts. So let's get into my whips. So I did a little bit more work on Lois's stocking by Shepherd's Bush. And the first one is going to be mine. I think I've mentioned before, like I'm doing one for every person in my family at some point if I can get through this first cursed stocking, because I mismeasured it like 3 times, I think. And then I just found out that my bead pack doesn't have all the beads in it that I bought like a year ago. But what can you do? But I've just been filling in the fat little guy on there, almost down to the bottom. And you know what? Got one more problem here. I swear to God, dude. I counted this 100,000 times. 100,000. To make sure that my measurements were correct. I don't think they're right. I think I'm off by like a couple stitches at the bottom. Either that or like the margin is going to be so unbelievably tight. I'm just gonna see what happens at this point, because I'm getting real pressed about this one. I don't know why I'm struggling with this one. I've never had such measurement issues. I've never done this, especially not like 4 times in a row. So eventually I will count it again, and then I will decide if I need to scrunch something up or just set it on fire. I don't know. I don't know at this point. We're just taking it one day at a time. I do like doing these. Like, it's not that I don't like these patterns. It's just like, for some reason, I'm bad at this pattern specifically. I don't know why. I don't know what my problem is. And then I worked on Squirrels of Sumatra by Ink Circles one last time since the last time you guys saw me, because it was a whip go call and I was just finishing up the last of the stitches that I needed. I'm doing this on a 32 count Golden Hour by Hand Dyed by Rolanda, and I'm using Hand Dyed by Rolanda threads as well, and it's called Black Rose. It's like a winey kind of purpley red variegation. And so here's where I'm at so far. I think that this looks really good. You can see more of like the purpley red tone in real life. Like the camera doesn't pick up the variegation super well. Or maybe it's my lighting. It's probably my lighting. But I like this color combination. This was, like I said, a whip go call. I think it's on my whip go board one more time for this year. So I don't know, we'll get some good progress. I feel like I've already gotten some really good progress this year, because when I first pulled it out, I think I just really had this first big motif over here done. So I got some pretty good stitching in. And then there's 2 big squirrels that are going to go right here. I'm going to save those for last. So I'm going to go like all the way around the outside and then do the squirrels last. Save the best bit for that. But I love yellow. It's like one of my favorite colors. And so this fabric really called to me. So I picked it up, and then I was like, well, I picked up the fabric and floss, and then I just picked a pattern later. Like I had the fabric floss combo first, and then I was like, okay, I should probably figure out what I want to stitch on this. But she was selling like these like 50-yard, see that's, you can see the variegation a lot better when it's like wrapped up like this, but this is like a full 50-yard hank of this floss, and then here's my very irresponsibly cut, like, why is it so long? Why did I do it that long? I don't know. But yeah, I got 2 just because I figured I was going to need 2. And if I don't, the floss is beautiful. So next I've been working on my epic Pokemon Generation 1 cross stitch by Lord Libidin. And this one is, it's like 115,200 stitches, and it's kind of a hassle because it's in the frame right now. But I work on this weekly. My goal was initially to get it done by the end of next year, but then little Miss Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe was like, wouldn't it be cool if you got it done to finish at StitchCon? And I was like, you're right. So I've bumped up the goal, and I got a plan. But I've been doing pretty well. So here is where I'm at right now. I'm on this side. I've been working on Abracadabra and Alakazam. And then we've got Machop, Machoke, and Machamp are starting to come in here. And then this, I believe, is going to be Psyduck. So yeah, doing pretty good. I don't know the next time I'll take on a project this big that is full coverage. It's a lot, but I haven't been losing steam on it yet. I got to do almost 900 stitches a week in order to get to where I need to be, but I don't feel, it doesn't feel like I'm not dreading it. Like yesterday I did like a lot of this like light blue here, and then I just came and started filling in some of like the smaller loose bits here, and I was going to work on it again today, but actually I hit almost 1,000 stitches this week on it already, so I'm just going to start my new start early because I want to. I deserve it. But yeah, I'm just chugging along on this. There's not too much to say that hasn't already been said. I'm just excited to see ample progress on this every time I pull it out, so it's great. So then I had a couple of Whip Go pieces that I've been working on, and the first one is I Will Face God. This is by Son of a Stitch over on Etsy, and my Whip Go call was for 2,000 stitches. I got the 2,000 and then a little bit more, and I think I'm gonna work on this just a little bit more next week, even though I've already hit my quota, just because it's an easy one to take to work because it's only 2 colors, and I'm almost halfway done with it. And it's on my Whip Go board one more time, so if I could get it to a position where the next time it's called on Whip Go, I could finish it, that would be pretty cool. But here is where I'm at. So this is on Cream and Sugar 32 count linen, I think. Yeah, 32 count Cream and Sugar linen by Fiber on a Whim. And I got all of the alphabet at the top done, and I'm trying to get as much of the border as I can before I go back into the center, because the border's it's just a pain in the butt because I can't really carry behind because this is such a light colored linen and these are bright reds. So I have to really be like careful about just following the line. So I kind of have to like break my thread or be a little bit like strategic with where I'm stitching what. So it's not like the most fun border to do, but like the center stuff is going to be the fun part. So I know once I finish that center stuff, the border is going to be a slog. So I'm trying to use the border first to incentivize me to finish that as quick as possible so I can get to the middle. So it's doing pretty good. I can cut this excess fabric off now because now I have all this extra. So I have enough for a whole nother big neutral piece. So that's pretty nice. Will I cut it off? Who knows? Sometimes I'm really good about cutting off the excess fabric, and then other times I'm like, I don't want to do that right now. But yeah, I got about 21 or 2,200 stitches into this, and on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, this will be my in-office work project next week. And then once the next Whip Go numbers are called in September, it'll probably get replaced with whatever's coming into that. And then my last whip, which was also my second Whip Go call, is Colors of Mexico by Jan Hicks. And I did a full conversion on this one. This is done on 40 count cloud break by the Roxy Floss Co. And I decided to do like a full Roxy Floss conversion as well. And I got all the way across for this one. It was called for 4,000 stitches. So it definitely is getting dulled out by the light. But I don't know why, I just really wanted to do this really big flower over here. And so I was like hauling all the way over to this side. And I got a little bit over 4,000. And now that I'm all the way over, I think I want to go all the way down because this is like a fat half of fabric. And so I would actually like to cut off some of the excess because this is a nice color, nice neutral. And I feel like I could use this for a lot of good stuff. And like I said, usually I don't have measuring problems, but I don't trust myself lately. So I would rather get like the full scope of how big it's going to be and then cut it just because I just don't trust myself. But yeah, so when I was at Stitch North last October, I went by the DMC and I looked at pictures of the DMC, and then I went over to the Roxy Floss and I just picked Roxy Floss based off of the DMC. And there's only one color where I was kind of like, I don't know about. So I had stitched these initially, this brown right here. I stitched them in and then I pulled them back out because I was like, I don't know. And then you know what? I was like, I don't care. So I stitched them again. I think my favorite color combo on here so far, I really like this kind of like lilac and teal, but I love this blue and red right here. It looks really good. So I'm excited, and I do think that this flower, like the tones of this look really nice together. So I never thought that I would be into like designs like this because I just never used to be, but I just love Jan Hick's choice of color and just like her mix and match of like pattern that almost gives like a textural look to a lot of her pieces. I love her designs. I did her meditation garden and got just absolutely obsessed. And so once I finish Colors of Mexico, I'll probably pick a new Jan Hicks design. It's weird. Like there's some designers where I'm like, I don't care how many I have going by them, but like Jan Hicks has pretty big pieces. So I don't want to lose focus on one for another. So I don't know, but I'm excited. One color that I really want to get to is this purple right here, which this is called Grape Soda. But it's all the way at the bottom right-hand corner of the piece, and it's only in the bottom right-hand corner. So I'm like, I gotta wait. I gotta be patient. But yeah, I don't think I did too bad. I mean, her colors were definitely vibrant in a different way. But I don't think that mine are like, I don't think they're bad. I just am not the best color picker, I guess. But I still like my piece. And that and Squirrels of Sumatra, because I started both of those at Stitch North, are in this Shrek and a Sombrero folder that was made for me by Erin and Amity of Hathaway Stitchers. So those were all of my whips. I have a little bitty bit of haul, and then we will get into some plans, and then that'll be it. And then I gotta go clean my apartment so I can stitch for the rest of the night. So first, I'm really excited to show you guys. So my friend Michaela sent me a little gift because she was going to come to StitchCon and then she couldn't. So we all sent our table gifts to her. And then she sent us all a little something as well. She sent me a really, really sweet thank you note, which I am hanging on to because that was really kind of her. She sent a couple of Brin and Needle flosses, which I believe they're Canadian. So I've never really gotten to try them. And I'm really excited to. So this one's called Frigged Up Hagstones. And it's a really interesting, like, browns and purples and grays. Very, like, muddy looking in a fun way type of floss. And then this one's called Litha, I believe. And it's, like, lilac with, like, really... It goes almost white, but it's, like, you can see some purple undertone in that. So these are really, really good threads. I'm excited to try. And then she sent me some pony black needles in size 28, which is really funny because these are really, my light is insanely bright. But I sent her pony black needles in size 28 because these are my favorite needles. So I was like, hey, we traded pony black needles. And then she sent these little Post-its. These are like, I'm pretty sure like a Legend of Zelda guy. I just haven't played Legend of Zelda in a long time, but I love stationery, so I will use those. And then these two stickers that I'm obsessed with. It looks like they're from arcanebullshit.com is what it's called. And I love bugs. If you know anything about me, you know I love bugs. So she sent me this one that's got like a roly-poly on it and it says, "Fuck it, we ball." Precious. And then this one says, "I feel the need for peed," and it's got centipedes all over it. So I'm definitely going to put these on some magnet paper so that I can use them as magnets, because any of my favorite stickers, like if I'm obsessed with a sticker, I put it on thin magnet paper, and then I put it on, I have like these magnetic drawers in my room, and that way I can use them. I'm looking at some of my stickers because I just love stickers. But I don't want to permanently stick them down and then regret it, so I put them on magnets. Problem solved. So that was a gift. And then I picked up two things. So I got the Halloween Just Cross Stitch magazine. I get this every year. There's a few that I'm really, really excited to stitch. The one that really was a standout to me was the one by Noctiflora Design. So she stitched this on perforated paper and then cut them out and made like a shadow box of these butterflies. That's a creative idea. So I really want to do that one, but there's like a handful of others that I definitely want to do in here as well. And I'm excited for the Christmas ornament edition to come out too, because I only buy the ornament ones, and then the other ones I just get from my library if there's like one or two patterns I want. But like the ornament ones, I just feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like they have such longevity to them where I'm like, I may not like this design now, but in 20 years when I'm like 50, I'm going to like this design. I know it. So this is an investment into my future stitching. And also, like, you know, your tastes change, or like, you know, vibes change. So I also, these little cats, it's so glossy. These little cats with the pumpkin, I want to stitch that one too. That'll take like 10 minutes to do. Not 10 minutes, but you know. And then I had pre-ordered this, but this is the Witchy Stitchers Meg Black's book. And it's got 25 patterns, but this goes well beyond the realm of a pattern book. I gotta tell you, I haven't fully even like cracked into this, but it's got heavily detailed descriptions of the fabrics. I don't want to show you guys like everything. Threads, like what different threads do and how to use them. Needles, hoops, scissors, frames, but like they have some really good like finishing information as well. Like for not only, but like for 25 patterns, like look at how thick this book is, because it's jam-packed with information that, like, if you've been stitching a long time, you probably know a lot of this stuff. But like she's even got how to dye with coffee and tea. Like that is really interesting. Like I just think that it's very obvious that a ton of like love and blood and sweat and tears went into this book. She did an amazing job, and I'm so glad that I got the pre-order. I'm excited to have it, even if I never stitched anything out of this, like, which is not going to happen. Like there's quite a few that I want to stitch. I don't know. I really respect how put together this is. I think one of my favorite patterns in here is the Vintage Halloween bookmark, just because I like this goofy bat. He's so long and spindly. But they have some like bookmark tutorials in here, which is nice because I would like to find a good way to finish some bookmarks and stuff like that. There's just so much good stuff. And there's like something for it, like depending on your spooky aesthetic, there's still something for everybody in here. There's like a lot of different spooky types of things in there, and I want to try. I've never coffee or tea dyed. I've only used Rit dye, so I would like to check that tutorial out. But that's everything I got. Still waiting on, I ordered some Bestitch Me fabrics a couple months ago. Still waiting on those. I'm really excited for them to come in, but I'll show you guys those when I get them. So plans. What? So, after I finish cleaning up this mess that I just made, I'm gonna go clean my apartment, and then I'm gonna start on Autumn Cats by Owl Forest. And last night when I was prepping the threads, because I bought the Owl Forest thread pack. I did buy not the DMC, but whatever the Russian brand was. So, I don't care one way or the other, but I do know like some of the over-dyed colors are a little bit different between the DMC and the Russian dyed threads. But as I was doing that, I realized I had picked a 46 count fabric for that pattern. So I was like, let me give it an extra day. Let me give it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I plan to start that today. Today is actually my husband's birthday, but he doesn't care. He just does not care. So he's going to play an RPG, and I'm just going to stitch and continue to watch 9 hours of Suits. I don't even know what's going on in the show. Like, I just turn it on, and then when that guy Lewis comes on the screen, I pay attention because I like him. And then whenever anything else is going on, I'm like, I don't care. I'm just here for the one lawyer. But yeah, he doesn't care about his birthday, so I was like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna cross stitch all day. But then what's my other new start? Harlequin Biscornu. I'm gonna start that one next weekend. Originally, these two were flipped, but here's the thing. We have to go to New York and New Jersey next weekend, and Rob has decided we will drive, which is like an 8 or 9 hour drive, and I'm not excited about that. But I was like, 46 count linen in the car is not gonna work. So I decided that the Biscornu, which I'm gonna stitch on Ada, will be much better, so I just flipped the 2 weeks around. So it makes more sense that way. But yeah, I'm doing the other Biscornu that I bought these two in a set. Like, it's the Pierrot. Is it Pierrot? I think that's what it's called. Where it's like the, like the sad white clown. But the Harlequin one is like much more colorful, so I'm excited to work on that as well. And then hopefully I will be back in 2 weeks, not 3 again, so I don't have as much stuff piled up. But thank you again to Michaela for sending me such a lovely gift from Canada, because I know like the postage is crazy right now. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.